We good?
Yeah, I think we're on.
I think we're on.
Hey guys.
Hi everybody.
How you doing? Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden.
Happy Wednesday night, or if you're joining us later, we hope you're doing well and having a great week so far.
Yeah, so this is our live. Today we're going to go over how to plant bulbs using the layer method, the lasagna layer method. And but first we wanted to recap a little bit about what we talked about last week.
Yeah, so if you joined us last week, you already know what we're going to say probably, but if you didn't see our episode live last week, we introduced you to 5 different types of bulbs and different examples of each type, and we talked about how they differ from each other.
Yeah, their structure, just how they look, how you handle them, if you're going to plant them. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And you know, it's important for everyone to know this if you're planning on getting flowering bulbs in your garden, because there's different ways to plant them, and you want to make sure you plant them correctly so they come up in the spring, right?
Yep. You plant them upside down or kind of cattywampus from what they need to be planted at. It's a good chance you might not see them.
Right.
So
you don't want that to happen. So we're really excited to present this to you. We're going to show you the types of bulbs that we're going to add to these 2 containers and how we're going to layer them.
Yep, step by step.
Yeah.
We'll show you layer by layer. Lasagna layer by lasagna layer. So
yeah, okay.
Hope we're not making you hungry. I'm hungry. Okay,
We're
sorry.
always hungry.
Okay, so first things first is let's go over the bulbs.
Yeah, let's talk about, okay, so.
Oh, these are so cool.
So excited. Now,
yeah.
These are huge, right? These are allium bulbs. This is a giant white allium. We just got these this year from Eden Brothers, but we have some other ones in our yard, so we're super excited to add the white.
Yep. Last year we had the Gladiator alliums.
And Purple Sensation. We had 2 different.
Sensation, yeah. I remember the Gladiators, and they were beautiful.
They're so beautiful.
So
if you're not,
huge.
if you're not familiar with these alliums, picture like a round, just a globe-shaped flower.
Yep.
Pollinators love these guys. I got tons of pictures last season of all the bees just like all over them.
They're almost the size of a softball. We're not even kidding you. They get
huge.
They get ginormous.
So these, I don't think these will be quite as big as the Gladiator purple ones that we have, but they're pretty close.
Yeah.
So it'll be, well, we're guessing because we've never had these, but they're probably going to be about that big.
Mm-hmm. So next up, tulips. Now, before we start with these, which ones are these?
Oh, these are from Eden Brothers. These are the I forget the actual name. Mont Blanc. From Eden Brothers.
Yeah, good stuff. So here we go. Now,
actually, guys, they're sold out of these, I think, too.
These are from.
These are color blends.
Color blends. I was going to say bloomables, but color blends.
No, we ordered a lot of bulbs this year. It's hard to keep it all straight.
So tulips. Next up is tulips. We're going by size. If you didn't notice, big, medium, smaller coming up. So tulips. These are white, best white.
Yeah,
these are called best white, and they
beautiful.
have a creamy yellow turning white flower. And so we've never grown this particular tulip before, this best white. So it's going to be great to see these come up in the spring. It's going to be beautiful.
So kind of white and white theme going on here. We have some dark areas in our backyard. They will be full sun because these bulbs all need the same growing conditions and whatnot. But this will really brighten up our backyard.
Yep. So, and just to pause, when you're planning out things like this, if you haven't heard us already say this, when you're planning to put a pot together, a planter, or a plant out in your garden beds, make sure to plant plants with similar plants that have similar needs. So if a plant has full sun needs and regular watering needs, find plants to put with that have the same needs. So just a little tip there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take, these are really dark, so I'm going to take my glove off.
These are really interesting looking these are corms.
These are corms, but they're weird looking.
This is Anemone Blonde.
They look like giant raisins. I don't know if you can see those.
Their common name is called a windflower, and it's actually a little daisy-shaped flower. This is a blend of white and purple, or kind of a lavender.
Or almost a blue.
Yeah, kind of a bluish lavender.
Beautiful, but see how tiny those are?
I mean, look at the comparison here.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow. So
if you're thinking ahead, okay, we're going to be putting these all in 2 different containers. Not all of these, but we'll show you how we're going to come up with that. And if you're wondering, so the layering method goes by size. So you can probably predict, if you've never done this before, you can probably start predicting how this might look inside the container.
The reason it goes by size is because the larger the bulb, the taller it is, the deeper it's going to go down. So in the soil. So the larger bulbs, or the taller bulbs, the taller ones are going to go down deeper than the next tallest, or the next least tallest is going to go above that in depth. and then the smallest one is going to go above that. And this in general is how the lasagna layering goes, the lasagna method goes. You layer the bulbs when you plant them.
But to be clear, you're not going to put them all right on top of each other. So inside the container, I don't know how well that would go.
That wouldn't go well.
So, but inside the container, we'll show you how this is going to work, and it's really easy.
Yep.
And this is a way for you to make your own containers to bloom in the spring and just have a beautiful show of color.
Yep, it's gorgeous.
Okay.
So
Can't stop smelling these.
I know these are really cool. So before we get going, should we see if there's any questions?
Oh yeah, let's
or
check
who's
the chat.
here?
Let's
Love to
see.
see
If you're
who's
here, let us know over
yeah,
here.
if you're here watching, chime in on the chat. Let us know if you got any questions. Let us know that too, even during while we're doing this. Ask. It's okay.
And we've got a free gift for you guys tonight as well. We'll drop that in the chat. And if you're watching later, we'll throw that in the comments so you can be sure to download. We just got this finalized today, actually, wasn't it?
Really cool. And also, if you're going to throw into the chat or make a comment, hit hashtag replay. And when you're typing that in, type that in so you can, so we know when you responded and when you saw the video.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So.
Cool.
But yeah,
Okay.
So do we talk about the thing at the end of the video?
Your thing at the end of the video, I'm not sure what you mean.
Our big announcement, our thing we just got done today, the freebie.
Well, there's maybe at least 2 projects we finished up today. We've been a little busy.
So
yeah, we can,
don't say it now.
We can tease it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
If you're looking for more plant ideas, to plant more perennial plant ideas to get out in your garden, you're wondering about plant lists, you want to look at an actual list of plants, we came up with a great list of plants, over 20, how many? 25?
Over 20. There's quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we put together a list based on the type of garden the plants could fit into, and that was what, pollinators, gardens,
drought-tolerant gardens,
shade and full sun.
Yep, and year-round color.
Year-round color. So
seasonal mix.
So we have a list of plants for each one of those categories of types of gardens, and it's free for you guys. And we'll put the link in the show notes or down below in the description. Sorry, podcast.
I know,
brain.
podcast brain.
So yeah, we'll put that down there for you so you guys can get access to it because it's free. And you guys, if you need it, if you need ideas for plants to still get out in your garden this fall, we got you.
Yeah, every single one of these plants can be planted right now, so it's not too late. As long as your ground isn't frozen yet, you can get these in the ground.
Yep, totally.
And actually, I kind of want to tease one other thing that we're kind of working on. This is a little sneak peek. We are going to start offering coaching and consultation services.
Woohoo!
So we're getting this loaded up. We've had a lot of clients lately, and we want to formalize it and get it out to you guys. So if you need any help with, we'll have some packages coming up that we're going to offer.
Yep, super simple packages to
really
understand, and we just want to get out there and we want to help you guys.
We want to help.
So, and actually, we're going to go to a client's house tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah.
And help them with their yard, do an assessment, maybe do some color spots. We'll see, and you'll see too.
Yeah, we were thinking we'll probably make that tomorrow's video.
Yep.
Because we'll be on location tomorrow.
Yep,
so.
on the road. So.
Okay, enough of that.
Done.
So what's
All
the
right.
first step?
First step is we got to get soil into these pots. If you're doing a container, you're planting some bulbs, you need to first put a layer of soil on the bottom of it. Now, the thing you want to keep in mind is before you do that, you want to have a sense of how deep your first bulb is going to go, and the reason how deep it's going to be planted. And the reason for that is because you can pretty much guess how much soil you need to put in, stop, place the bulb in on top of the soil already in the container, and then add some more soil and you're done. You don't have to re-dig out any extra soil to get this down. So it makes it a little bit easier just to kind of figure that out in the beginning. So, you know, looking at this, we're probably looking at about 3 inches?
I'd say, yeah.
About 3 inches. So what you want to do for all these bulbs in general, unless it says on the packaging, which these don't, you want to actually plant these about 2 to 3 times down as they are high. So this is about 3 inches high. We're going to go 2 to 3 times its height down in the soil to plant it down below the soil level that you're going to see up top. So we're looking at probably about 8 inches.
We're just barely going to make that with we've already visualized how high our soil level or soil line will be, if that makes sense. So
what we can do too is a real easy way to do it is have a hand trowel with hash markings for inches. So this is how we're going to measure.
Yeah, we love this.
We're actually going to go from 4, it says 4, if you can't see it, 4, 3, 2, 1 in inches. We're gonna go right in the pot here, or I can go this way, I guess. And so we're gonna go in the pot. This hash mark, we're gonna go down a little bit from the rim, and that is because once we get done, backing up here, once we get done planting this pot, we wanna have about 1 to 2 inches from the rim of this pot down where the soil starts, because we need that space for when we water this, or it fills up with water from rain or whatever, it doesn't automatically flow off out of the pot. We want the water to stay there and get into the pot and filter down through the soil. So we're gonna leave about 2 inches of buffer between this rim of this pot and going down before we start measuring 8 inches down. Hope that makes sense. If not, let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
So there we go, there's about 4 inches. I'm gonna go here, going down.
So we're
8 inches is right
about here for those that obviously can't see the inside. So imagine a layer of soil at the very bottom, and then we'll start our allium bulbs right about here. Okay, looks good.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh.
I'm just measuring the rings so I know when we come up, that's where we need to stop.
That's a good call.
So.
Another thing we forgot to mention is when you're designing a container, a good rule of thumb is to go in odd numbers. So that's a little difficult. We don't have a ton of room inside this container.
And
right?
what Allison's saying too, if we can clarify just a little bit, is the odd number of bulbs to plant together. So 2 together, okay, that's all right, but it's not as appealing as 3.
Odd numbers are much more appealing to the eye.
So you get 3 together, that's a lot more appealing to the human eye.
So think 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s.
Yep, and that's just the way we're wired. It's okay, it's no big deal. So. Yep.
So with this plan, we only have 5 alliums that we're able to put in here. So we're going to do, unfortunately, we have to split it. So we'll do 3 in one, 2 in the other.
Yep, that's the plan, man.
Yep.
Okay, so
It doesn't always work out that way.
First off, let's get some soil. I'm gonna put some soil in here. And just so you know, the soil's down below here. It's kind of a heavy bag. I'm not gonna pick it up and throw it up here. So do this real quick.
So I'm going to take out what we're going to plant and just kind of put them into piles. So again, fortunately we have 3 and 2 for now.
So did we talk yet about the tulips and how we might group those together? Or are we going to kind of wait and see what we got?
I mean, we want to go odd numbers. But again, we're kind of dealing with a space issue here. Now the anemone bulbs are really small, so those aren't a problem. So what I'm going to do is just start laying these out and we can decide. Oh, you guys can't see anemones. They do look like raisins or prunes. Tiny.
So here's our first one.
Okay.
I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to grab this one, excuse me.
Let's move that because we're
moving that.
We're setting up bulbs. So again, we kind of had color in mind as well. So again, these will be white. These will be also white with a little bit of yellow, and these will be white and kind of a purplish blue. We showed an unboxing the other day that showed, not the alliums because we just got those in the mail, but the other bulbs. If you want to see pictures of those, we'll throw some links in the description. And you can also check out our previous video where we unboxed, I think it was just a couple days ago, we just unboxed the color blends. So those are always fun to watch.
Yeah.
So,
almost ready.
Stager. This is going to be kind of tight, so we'll wait and see what Sean thinks.
So,
Okay,
something else to think about, everybody, is that when you're planting bulbs, different producers, different sellers will tell you, oh, put them about 2 inches apart, put them 4 inches apart, put them 6 or 12 inches apart. Well, and it's perfectly up to you to follow that, but just be aware that if you do follow those directions, a lot of times they're going to be a little too far apart. They're not going to look like a nice tight bunch. And we're here to tell you, we like them when they're a little bit tighter, not when they're spaced out.
And that's what we teach as well. We teach our clients and we teach online. Yeah, go with what you want, like Sean said, but we usually group tighter.
Yep, we group a little bit tighter. It just looks better.
It does.
So.
Okay, so this is the first layer of our lasagna. Our bulb lasagna.
Okay, so can you guys see that? There we go.
I could be working here, not just watching Sean work.
Well,
it is fun though.
Do you wanna?
Go ahead.
You sure? Okay, because you can supervise and I'll.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
So bulbs, alliums. You want to grab your allium. We're going to place it. These should be at the right depth. So It's always fun to figure out which end's which, right?
They look,
So,
yeah, it looks like a blob.
Yeah, on the alliums, they're a little bit tough. So they're a little bit tough to figure out. But from what I can tell, we've got this rough kind of rounder part right here. And then we've got this kind of flatter, but there's a little nodule thing right on the top there. And so to me, this little piece, this little nodule on the top, that is the stem side. That's the little flower bud side. That's where the stem's gonna come up, the flower's gonna come up. This side right here, that's where the roots come out. So we're gonna make sure that this side is facing down in the pot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this right about here. And now the measurements on these alliums, I think it called for 6 inches.
I think they're about 6 inches spacing.
Yeah,
so, ours are going to be closer.
Yeah, ours are going to be a little bit closer because we don't have a lot of room, and plus we like those tight, like we were saying, we like tight spacings. So maybe 4 inches, and
yeah, it's about 4 inches, maybe
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yep.
So yeah, it's super important step. Identify the type of bulb you have and find the top and maybe the bottom as well. So you place them correctly in your container or in the ground. So these are actually true bulbs. I think we might have forgotten to mention that.
Yeah, and we went over this last week, our last week's live, and we went through all the 5 types of different bulbs there are. So yeah, these are the true bulb types.
Yeah.
So.
And so are tulips, actually.
And then the anemones. Are these anemones?
Anemones. Yeah.
Anemones.
Anemone. I know it's hard to say.
5 times fast. We're not going to do it on camera.
We're not gonna do it.
So those are corms. The anemones are corms. If you care, just so you know. Okay, so these are placed in here.
Yeah, these are too.
So ready
I'll
to
show
go.
everybody without dislodging them all.
Yep. Oh, looking good. Look at that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So there we go.
Ready.
All right. So
We're
now,
packed in there.
now we're going to add our next layers. So what we got coming up next is tulips. So before we cover the alliums, we need to look at the tulips and see how tall they are. So we've got, oh, you already got them grouped out
I know.
for us.
I
That's
don't know if
awesome.
we want that many though. It's going to be
Well,
kind of tight in here.
Before we even do this, we can say, you know, if we have 3, I think the spacing on this is like 2 or 3 inches, maybe 4 inches. So, and for you guys out there, that's like this. That's like that. That's, I don't know, to me that's not tight enough. We've planted these spacings out in the front yard and it looks sparse. It looks like some tulips and daffodils were randomly planted. So we're gonna go a little bit tighter.
So we could probably fit 3 in here.
Yeah, so we could go a grouping of 3 in 3. I would say like 3, 3, and 3. We could.
That's kind of a lot. I
It's
don't
a
know.
lot. It's tight.
I don't know if I like that.
We have the numbers.
I think
We have the tulips.
we are.
We can rebuild them.
Those are earmarked for other parts of our yard, though, so we don't need to put so many.
I
in
didn't
here.
know this. Okay.
See, there's always a plan.
There's always a plan, man.
So,
Okay.
with that in mind, maybe we won't put 9 in here, but we do.
What if we do 6 each? We'll
Okay.
see. Okay.
See, we haven't even planned this out yet.
So again, all live on camera.
Yeah, I
Here
know.
you go. This is how we plan things. If you haven't figured that out yet.
6 is kind of an even number, though. Is that not?
It's still round-ish. It's got that curve. So, okay, never mind.
I don't know.
I'm being goofy. Okay, so our tulip, is that about an inch?
Maybe a little over an inch.
Maybe, so let's say an inch and a half, maybe, inch and a half. So we got to go about 3 inches, 4.5 inches down.
Okay.
So if we take our handy trowel here, so we got 4 inches down. So if we go 4 inches, you want to go 4 inches or 4.5?
You decide.
Okay. Let's go 4. We're going to go 4.
That sounds good.
So 4. So we need to go down to here, and on mine, as is probably yours, we have these rings. They're all about evenly spaced, and we can basically just count down to
okay.
that spot,
Good call.
and then we know that's where the bulb needs to go. The base of it needs to go to. So let's see. If we count 1, 2, 3. I'm on 4. I'm on the 4th
Okay.
ring down. What about you?
Yep.
Yeah. You
It
wanna-
should be
you
the
wanna
same.
measure?
Sure.
Okay. We're measuring. We're measuring.
Yeah, it's about the 4th.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So we know we need to do that. I'm going to bring them back
Give
down
Sean
here.
the soil duty here.
Soil duty.
I don't know. Now I'm conflicted how many
Okay.
tulips to add.
Hey, you know, you guys, if you're watching, let us know how many bulbs we should put together. Our grouping. Should we go tighter? Should we just jam them in there? Should we go 9? Let's go 9 total in each pot, or should we go 6?
I want these in the front
like the boss
yard.
wants to do. Just let us know.
Okay, so he is going to layer, and then we'll add, or I guess this is our in-between layer.
So technically, our lasagna is coming right along.
I know.
We've already put down the first layer of, how would this look if this was actual lasagna? This would be maybe some of the sauce, and then some of the noodles, and we've got some of the cottage cheese maybe.
Like the bulbs or the noodles. And
yeah, and when the bulbs are the noodles. Now we've just put in the next layer of sauce and noodles. Now we're gonna put the turkey or the beef in. And you guys hungry yet?
Getting hungry apparently. Okay.
So 1, 2,
Oh, we went too far.
I was a little far on that, sorry.
Okay, we'll just move some dirt out of the way. So again, figuring out, looking at your tulip and finding the top. These are a lot easier to tell, right? Because they're just so pointy.
Pointy.
So this end needs to face up.
Yes, pointy end up, as we all know.
And we should kind of keep in mind where the alliums are, because we don't want to layer these right on top of the alliums.
They will grow around each other.
They do.
They will
true.
adapt,
okay.
so
that's
it's okay. Point. So if you want, you can mark your pots with chalk or something. That's something you can do, or just make sure you realize where they're at with little markings. Like we got little openings here for these pots where they had different things coming out of them. We're recycling these, actually reusing these pots. But there's little notches here, and if we wanted to, we could have figured out where in relation to those notches the bulbs were, and then we could have just known to space our tulips not around those notches. So easy ways to figure stuff out. So how you
I did 5. I don't know. I kind of just
5.
threw them in here, and
so
sometimes I like to see what they look like.
So you went in a circular pattern.
I kind of did a circle
around the perimeter.
You don't have to do yours that way, though. We could make different ones, and then we'll see which one we like.
I always like geometric shapes. I know Allison does too. It kind of keeps an order to things. Sometimes we'll go, if we have 3, we'll go with a triangle. If we have 4, we'll go with a square, something like that. 5 and up, maybe circle. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll copy the boss here and do a circle. Oh, I did have 5. You already set me up.
I did.
Way ahead of me, as usual. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so that's the next layer. We need soil.
We need to show them. I gotta show them what we did.
Yours are easier to see. We'll look at Sean's.
There we go. So kind of a hex.
Yep.
Hex? Is that pent? Pentagram? Pentahex?
Pentagram. It's been a long day, you guys. Okay, moving along.
Okay.
Soil time.
So next up, but we gotta figure. First, we gotta figure
getting ahead
out
of myself.
our size again, because we gotta get that layering just right. Something to can't talk. Something to think about, guys, is that if these go too deep, too shallow is kind of okay. You don't want too shallow, because then the whole plant will just fall over after it pops up out of the ground. You go too deep, you plant these too deep, you might not see them at all. Or you'll very much stress them out, and they'll have to expend more energy to get up above the soil level to then start photosynthesizing and producing their flowers. So something to keep in mind. That's why we're going through all of these different layers so precisely. So, okay, little guys.
We have lots of these.
So so some of these look like corms, which are squishy, squished down, little like raisins almost. See how flat that is?
Yeah.
There's that one. So this looks like an actual corm. It's got the indentation on top, and then it's got the little round piece on the bottom, and I think, that looks like...
I know, these are where is the tip on these?
These are really cool. So, and then there's these guys that look like lumps of like amalgamated raisins that just were in the bag too long. They all stuck together. So, yeah, interesting. So, but these are all corms. These are all anemones. And so, I think it's about 1/2 inch. We go 1/2 inch, 3 times that, 1.5 inches. So, where's our, there it is. Excuse me, thank you. So we go down about 2 inches or so here, 1.5 inches. Oh, 1.5 inches from here is right about there.
So that first.
So yeah, so right at the first ring there, that's where we need to go to. That's our next lasagna layer.
All right.
Cool.
I'm gonna put this down here. Starting to work.
Starting to get a little bit, a little darker out here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It was pretty much foggy all day here today,
Yeah, overcast, foggy.
so we're happy that the sun came out for a little bit.
And we get to share it with you guys.
That's right. And we get to be outside. Might not have too many more lives where we get to be outside.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you got it?
Nice job.
Oh, thanks. All right.
Okay, so another layer of soil.
Here
kinda
we go,
spreading it out.
guys. So I think with these,
Okay.
do you think they need to go around more of the perimeter so they're further out? Because you guys can see these pots actually taper. So even though we put the daffodils,
Tulips.
even though we put the tulips, they look fairly similar. Even though we put them in here around the perimeter, that was further down here. As we come up, the pot opens up, we can still do a perimeter planting of these
That's
little
true.
anemones, and it won't interfere, it shouldn't interfere with the tulips growing. So
I know, it's hard to visualize because I kind of want one or two or maybe even a group of three in the middle too.
now,
That might be kind of fun. But the alliums.
yep, the alliums we have in here. Now, in
That's a
both of
good
our
point.
pots, they're not exactly in the center of the pot
I
either
know.
though. So if we do put them in the center, that'd be okay. But if we do put them in the center, the larger plants that come up will actually grow above them more than likely, and they could shade them out. There's going to be some competition no matter what in this pot for space and getting light with the leaves and the stems, but we don't want to add to that. So just something to keep in mind. So, oh, you've already planted yours.
Well,
you
I
already
only
placed yours.
I think we want more
Okay.
than three in here, so maybe
So do
maybe
we-
if I could have two more, please.
Sure, you can have as many as you want. Here, grab this like
What I like
this.
about these anemones is that they do well in partial shade as well. So they'll take full sun or partial shade. So we've earmarked a bunch of these to put in some partial shade areas that don't normally grow bulbs that well.
yeah.
So that'll be fun.
That'd be great.
How many are you gonna plant?
I don't know. Still kind of figuring that out. Just kind of placing them. I got to make sure I'm orienting them.
I know, I
right.
might
know it's
need
a
you to
little,
check
It's
mine.
a little hard because
Some of
these
these
are
I'm not
so
sure.
kind of crazy together.
I think
I think,
that's it.
yeah. So,
I'm not really sure on this one, to be honest.
so if you got,
I don't know if you guys could see that, but it's just
it's crazy.
really lumpy.
So on this one, you see right there.
Oh,
see
there's
right
a
there?
growing point.
Those
Yeah.
are roots. These are the roots.
Oh, okay.
So we're going
let's
to
need
turn that
it
over and then place it like
So
that.
actually, mine probably needs to be like
so
that.
it's kind of weird.
I thought that was maybe
but-
a stem, but oh, I see. Okay.
They're so tiny. See how tiny that is? Small. SMall.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
So that one's going there.
All right.
The real test will be this spring, this coming spring when they are supposed to come up. We're going to find out if we did it right.
All right.
How
Let's
many
cover
did-
these with
well,
soil.
Well, how many
Oh,
did you do?
I did 6.
5, 6. I'm going to do 7 because we like to be different. I like to be different.
All right. I went against the odd numbers, but I think overall.
Would you like one or
I'm
2
good.
more? You're good?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
This is great.
Okay. More soil.
More soil.
Well, wait. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that
Here, you know
because of
what?
the soil,
Let's do this.
kind of the same color.
I'll do this.
They're right here.
Okay.
There we go.
Here we go. We're going to put the soil right up here. So
Some room.
let's do the ladies first.
We're gonna lightly cover this layer so we get at least 2 inches over the top of these bulbs.
And guys, if we didn't say this before, this is just regular old potting soil. We just picked some of this up from our local nursery. It's just potting soil with some organic matter, some bark, and
I think that's
some
good.
perlite. And oh, okay,
I think we're good.
okay.
Awesome.
So, and our plan for these is just to make sure, we wanted to make sure that all this soil drained properly and potting soil drains really well. So that's a good thing. That meets our requirements for these. And then also, when we get into next spring, we'll make sure to use a good organic fertilizer, and we'll make sure that they get fed with some fertilizer every couple weeks or so, depending on what the label says on the fertilizer bag.
Yeah, a lot of people put bulb fertilizer, I can't say it, in the pot before you put the bulbs down. That's a general practice a lot of people follow. We didn't have any on hand, so we'll add some later.
Yeah.
Or compost, but we don't need compost.
Nope. We got really good soil. This is rich, nutrient-rich potting soil, so we're covered there. Yeah. So make sure that's all patted down. Now, something else to think about, guys. There's always something else to think about. So this soil does compact. It does go down. It compacts down over time. So putting just a little bit more over the top isn't going to hurt anything, and it definitely won't hurt our bulbs because we planted them just right, just perfectly, of course. You want a little bit more?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Couldn't hurt.
Just a little bit more. Okay.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
Otherwise, you guys, that's pretty much it. That's what we like to call, and I think other people call, the lasagna layering method for containers, for bulbs, of course, in particular. So again, we've got alliums down here. We've got tulips right about here at about 5 inches deep. And then we've got our anemones right here.
Yep. Yep.
So can't wait to see.
Yep. This spring's going to be beautiful. So go ahead and leave any comments and questions down below, especially in the chat though, too, if you're following along. Make sure to put hashtag replay so we know when you saw the video and we can get back to you if you have any questions. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the live today. That's what we wanted to show you guys.
We're gonna keep it simple, and we're not going to do any Q&A this week, but we'll probably have some next week again. Yep. And thank you again for all your comments and questions. Yeah. And we love hearing from you guys, like Sean said. We're having a lot of fun. We hope you are too. And you know, just because fall and winter is approaching in our hemisphere, gardening doesn't have to stop. Nope. And I know gardening's been bringing a lot of joy to a lot of people during these crazy times with COVID.
A lot of new gardeners out there.
A lot of new gardeners out there, and that's where we would like to step in and help. So
that might be you, and we want to help you guys. So the freebie.
Oh yeah, we need to put the freebie in.
We just worked on today.
We'll put that in the description. I'll drop that in the chat right now.
So you guys, and also make sure to look for our consulting or garden coaching. We're developing that. The menu should be up maybe in about a week or so. We'll let you know too in the posts on YouTube here, and then if you're on our email system, if you're on our email list, we'll let you know through that too.
I know, and we're really excited to get that going because we'd love to talk to you. We love talking about plants. We're total plant nerds. But also, a lot of you might not know what you need to do this fall and winter, and you've started a brand new garden of flowers, perennials, and things, and you don't want them to die.
Nope.
I mean, how sad would that be?
And then you're spending a lot of time sifting through all the information out there on the online, on the internets, and
say internets.
I did.
Oh my gosh.
So we want to help you not have to do that. Take care of the headaches, give you the right information, so you just go do it. You're done, moving on.
I know, I love that.
Yep, everybody's so busy these days, especially us, just like you. So
and if you download the freebie, we can help you out a little bit more. We've got a couple other things down the pipeline.
Oh yeah.
So
totally.
So you guys have a great night.
Yeah. Go get some lasagna.
Go make some lasagna. We probably should have made lasagna for dinner. We're going to be thinking about it all night. We've got a great crock pot lasagna meal, by the way, if you need a time saver. That's one that we'll probably be making that soon. That sounds really good, actually.
Sounds good, yeah.
So, that's probably it. We'll be back live next Wednesday at 5. We're not really sure what our topic's going to be yet.
Yeah, if you want, email us at, let us know down in the comments down below what topic you want us to talk about. And then also email us at Sean and Allison at spokengarden.com.
You almost forgot.
I almost forgot it. We have a couple different emails.
I know we do.
So yeah, Sean and Allison, all one word, at spokengarden.com.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks again, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.